I don't know
Tap the screen.
what to do. It just puts a little circle on your chapstick.
I'm really seriously. Should have just made a video.
You should switch back. Is it a tablet?
No, I want to fix my screen.
Okay. Well, it's frozen with your chapstick on.
Are people even talking?
Not yet. There's 4 waiting, it says. You don't need to put your hand in front of it if you're still frozen on.
No, it's froze me in a different position. If this is how this is going to be, froze me in a different position. Hasn't even picked up my hand yet.
Is it working now?
I'm hoping.
Oh. It seems to be.
All right. Okay.
Don't touch nothing.
My hand comes in, my hand goes out. All right.
Okay, go sit down.
Okay. Life today, I am going to be making a Lonstar.
This big word just came up and said, "You're live," just out of the blue.
Oh, I'm going to be making a Lonestar quilt, and it's a 6-color Lonstar. And I'm going to teach you all how to make it, because that's what I do. Anyways, if you're new to my channel, sorry that my videos always seem to have issues lately. I cannot control that, but please subscribe, like, share, and so on and so forth, because someday it'll be fixed and someday they will be good videos. They are good videos. You just have to deal with the skipping and the freezing. Anyway, so Lonestar, that is what I'm making, except I'm going to do a little bit of changing it up. It's not going to be completely, I mean, it is traditional, but it's not going to be completely the same as what everybody else makes. And I'm not following anybody's anything. I'm just doing my own thing, like I have done the other times I have made a Lonestar. I just do my own thing. But this time it's not strip piecing. There's no strip piecing. This is all, each and every single piece will be being put together on its own. So
You want to say hi to everyone?
this is my color palette you guys can look at while I read who's here.
I didn't want to jump the gun on you.
So we got Heather here. We got Betty here. Kitty here. Hello. It's okay. It's okay. I need a better way to do this. I need better. We got the better internet, which is not better. Go figure. Anyway, so here are my colors. And let's slide that under. See, I put them all on bolts to make it easier for me because I keep the cardboard bolts. So this is my main focus fabric on the bottom. It is a paisley. Then the next one is,
hi, Mary Jane. Mary Jane says hi.
Another color that goes with it. The next one is another color that goes with it. The next one is another color that goes with it. This one right here, this sky blue, is going to be my accent color. Because yes, even in a Lonestar, you can have an accent color, which will also be my first border. The white, I got a lot of because it's going to be the background of everything. So, and with borders and so on and so forth, it's going to be background. And then again, with my bottom page print, it is also going to be a border as well as whatever. This is not.
Hi, Diane. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Kim, Diane, Joe. Hello, everybody. So this is not going to be your average Lonestar. Again, I made 7 of these so far. So this will be number 8. They're very fun to do, and I change it up every single time I make it. So this time, I'm going to show you how to make the star part, and then together we will figure out how to change those blank areas, because I don't want them blank. I want more stars. So I'm going to be building stars for the blank areas that you would see around the Lonestar to spice things up. So that is why I have so much yardage here. So I've got here just because 3 yards, 2.5 yards, no, 4 yards, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 4, and 7, because anything left over could also build a pieced back. So that way I don't have to do anything special and go get whatever. But this quilt that I'm building is in the general going to be full size quilt for a full size bed. So, and not, you guys know I make everything a little bit larger than it needs to be purposely so that we have nice hangover and so on and so forth. So I'm going to walk you guys.
Hi, Judy. Hi, Betty.
Hi, Judy. Hi, Betty. I'm going to walk you guys through all of the steps that I do besides the ironing, because I iron and put them on a bolt. I'm going to walk you through all the steps on how I make this. So let's get started, because this is going to be fun.
I'm going to plug an iron in one there.
No. So we're going to start with showing you guys. This is this will be 6 colors, and you can see they are all lettered. And you can see there is 4 patches of diamonds in there. And to start by saying this is 45-degree diamonds, not 60. I'm using 45-degree diamonds. So
Hi,
this
Dawn.
is a
Hi, Judy. Hi,
45-degree
Tom.
diamond here with 45-degree diamonds in it. So if you could see my little drawing, what you need to do is you need to draw yourself a nice little 6 by 6 diamond. So 6 across by 6 down diamond, and choose where you want your colors to lay. And what I mean by that is when you're taking this right here, you're going, well, I want this one right here closest to this, or I want this one here closest to the bottom, the next one up, then the next one up. And the colors will repeat themselves, but a different manner on the way back up. The reason for my 4 patches being along here is because this is where I want all 8 star points coming together, is with E. And then it goes A, A, B, 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 C, 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 and D and W, okay? And I know it's a big jump in letters, but W just stands for what. So all of these are going to come together, but these 2 right here, the background and the turquoise, or the cloud sky color, that and this are the accent color that go around here. And the white is going to be on the outside. So it's going to create this really cool spiral effect in the middle of it. And then I don't want any of this white touching the next white. So I went down a slice so that when I got to this E right here that runs along the middle, there'll be no white touching this white when it's background color. And then it went from E to back to D, C, B, A, and E again. Okay. So there should be an equal amount of cuts, and I will tell you everything I'm cutting as I go. And we're going to start with cutting all the pieces for the 4 patches. Now, this is not the colors I'm using, but I wanted you guys to know what it turns out looking like. So we're going to start cutting all the pieces to make 40 of these. That means we need 80 sets. Okay. So we're going to make 40 of those. So now I'm going to turn the camera down so you guys can see the cutting.
Hi, Tom. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Judy.
Hello, everybody joining.
Say hi earlier now.
Okay, so you guys are going to be able to see how 45-degree diamonds are cut. And I'm not doing like other people where they try to line up the grain and stuff. I think they all lay perfectly flat on their own. So I'm going to go start with my white. And this white, we're going to cut 1 3/4 inch strips from. And I am going to cut 6 1 3/4 inch strips. So let me grab something ruler wise or cutting wise that I can use left or right handed. And I'm going to line this up and straighten my fabric up, because that part I did not do in advance, because I knew it would have shift and adjust putting it back onto a bolt. So I'm going to make sure that I'm getting the fabric all the way down, and it looks like I am. So I'm going to cut that off. I don't need that. That's just me straightening an edge. And now I'm going to come over 1 3/4 inch using my ruler. I'm not going to use the 1 1/2 inch side, because I need 1 3/4, and this will just confuse my mind. So I'm going to go to the side of the ruler where I can read 1 3/4, because I don't want to confuse myself. So we want 1 3/4 inch. And I'm going to cut 6 of these from this. So I'm just going to line it up, and I'm going to cut them one at a time. No rush.
Morning, Teresa.
So I need 6 of these. Morning, everybody that's joining. Thank you for joining, or it's probably afternoon for some people. It's morning for me still. I'm gonna cut 6 1 3/4 inch strips.
Hey, Suburban.
And if I cut anything extra, all that can be used elsewhere in this quilt. And I am not minding that the 2 of these prints are directional. I don't really care about that. They're gonna.
You were off. You're back on now, though.
Oh. All right, 1 2 3 4 5, and one more will make 6. And we're gonna work on this until I need a break, and then I'll come back with part 2, just letting you guys know. All right, so there's 6 of those to start. We're gonna move that out of the way. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Six off the blue. So 6 1 3/4 inch strips off the blue. So off of our accent color. So again, I'm gonna line this up, cut a straight line to start.
Hi, Elena. Elena says, newish to your channel and love to be watching live from North Yorkshire, UK.
Awesome. I'm glad you can make it.
It's really cool when we get people from around the world, because it's odd to think people
And if
all
you guys
over
are
the
new
world
to my
watch us.
channel, that is the voice of my husband, Scott, in the background. He has now become the new background voice because he reads comments for me so that I don't get too distracted while I'm trying to work. And he can start asking me questions. So I'm again cutting. This is the accent color that is going with my white, okay, which is going to create these 4 patches right here. So I'm going to, I cut 1 3/4 inch, 6 of them off of this, and I'm cutting 6 of them off of this. They need to be 1 3/4 inch. So I just need 6, and we're going to start building with these first because I need to make 40 of these 4 patches. And this is why I got so much fabric, because a lot of it I'm guessing with, but I'd rather have more fabric than not enough fabric, which has happened to me before. Because the rest of the quilt, after I get the Lonestar center part done, I will be going off of making things up as I go, but I will tell you guys the whole way. So I'm cutting 6 1 3/4 inch pieces.
Morning, Kathy. Kathy says good morning.
Good morning. 1 2 3 4 5, and one more will be 6. And this section is the only section I will be chain piecing, by the way. I mean strip piecing. Oops, that's 2 3/4. What am I doing? 1 3/4, Tiffy. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way, close my cutter, and now these are cut, and now all we have to do is strip piece them together. Because again, we're creating a lot of them, and they'll probably be extra. Like I said, I make extra of everything. We're going to come over to the sewing machine.
Hi, Jim.
And sew. So I'll just turn you guys up and over so that we can sew. And then once these are done, then we can cut other stuff. So we're creating the 4 patches first. And to have an accurate 1/4 inch seam, I'm actually going to switch to my 1/4 inch foot and not use my magnets today. I didn't think about that till just now when I realized it was my other foot, and I can't sew a straight line for the life of me. So
Good morning, Janice.
morning, everybody joining. All right, 1/4 inch foot is on. Now all I have to do,
Elena says she's watched quite a few of your videos and you have some great tips and ideas you share. Thank you for all your experience and being a great teacher.
oh, thank you. We're going to put these right sides together, one of each, right sides together, and I'm going to sew down the whole entire unit with a 1/4 inch seam. Also going to make sure that I have thread in the machine. I was rolling bobbins before coming on, so I totally got myself behind, and I was like, oh my God, I have 1 minute. Come on. I knew I was doing stuff and just forgetting. Plus, I got a phone call right before going live anyway. All right. If I can get this through the hole, then I can start sewing, which for me is the faster part. Where is my threading thing? I gotta use my threader thingy. Okay, let's try this all over again. All right. We're sewing a 1/4 inch all the way down. And changing my stitch length because I'm going to be subcutting to like a 2.1, 2.2, somewhere around there. And I just kind of hold them together all the way down.
And this side.
Grab another one, and I'm gonna put those right sides together, and I'm gonna sew those through, and I'm just gonna keep going until everything is sewn through.
Hi, Auntie. Get a notification, but she's glad she caught you anyway.
Oh.
Hi, Judy.
Glad you all can be here. And then do it again and again until all 12 pieces are connected into 6 strip sets. So these are 1 3/4 inch strips. This will create the 3 inch 4-patch, diamond 4-patch when we're complete. Can you plug an iron in for me now?
Yeah. Which one would you like? Big dog?
Big dog.
Am I gonna iron? Are you ironing?
I'll iron.
He's out of a job today,
another
huh?
one through. If you hear the beeping sound, that is just my iron turning itself on. It'll beep more than once.
You have just wants to steal my job today, guys.
And just remember, if you have any questions throughout the whole process of each video that I make that goes with this Lonestar, don't forget to ask them. I can answer as best as possible. The reason why,
feel free to ask all questions.
yeah, the reason why I am, I don't have patterns. Most of it's in my head, so most of it's not written down. The only thing that's written down is where my colors are going to go, just so you know in advance. So make sure that when you rewatch the video, if you really want to make this, that you pause at the areas you need to pause, you know, while watching.
Hi, Rowan. Hello.
Hello, everybody joining.
Thank you, Diane. Giving that hint.
So there'll be as many videos as it takes to get this done.
I'm trying to. She's trying to steal my job. And says, yeah, you get to be Iron Man.
I need them to be pristine, though.
Okay.
So.
I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
And one more set. Again, right sides together, and I'm just chain piecing it through.
Teresa was thinking about this quilt yesterday
Yeah.
and using my Hula fabric to make one. She said, how did you read my mind? LOL. It says Tony Stark has nothing on Scott here.
Yeah.
Hi, Ellen. Ellen says hi.
Hello.
She says love a Lone Star.
Well, Dylan, if all the things in my head come out, this should be an amazing quilt. Which, you know, you can't expect anything less from me, right? All right, so now I'm snipping them apart. And what we're going to do...
Auntie Ann wanted to make a Lone Star, but it's super intimidating for her.
No, this is, you'll see, this goes together so awesome, so easy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this over to the iron, and I'm using a white and a dark color. I'm actually going to go to the iron and press all this to the dark. And I am going to 100% make sure that there are no folds, no pleats, no nothing in this, because it will change the size of your diamond. And if you change the size of your diamond, the rest of the diamonds will not fit together. That is one thing about diamonds. You need to make sure they come out the correct size. So now that I've sewn these, and this is the only time I'm strip piecing, now that the sets are sewn together, I need to press this back, and it needs to be as accurate as possible. So make sure that you get it as accurate as possible. So I'm going over to the iron. I'm going to turn you guys facing the iron, but obviously all you do is see my butt. But I guess some of you don't mind butt shots. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. I'm being silly. So you'll be able to see that I'm pressing them back. So I just lay one strip completely down like this. So I have it down with the dark side facing up. And I'm just going to...
Your butt, ha ha ha.
I'm going to heat it first. Just going to heat it up so that it relaxes it. And I'm keeping it nice and straight when I heat it up. And then what I'm going to do is open it. I'm just going to push it back with my finger while it's still warm. Just my fingernail.
What size are your strips cut, Ellen asks?
These are 1 3/4 inch, but I'm making a 4 patch out of these. The rest of everything will be different sizes. All right, so now that that's pushed back, I'm going to keep it as straight as possible. I'm not going to let my iron push it in any way at all. I'm just going to run right down it.
Jim asks if anyone's sewing. He's cutting for his second Dresden block. He made his first ever yesterday.
Oh, that's the next quilt I'm doing here, guys. After this one is the Dresden. We're doing 2 different style Dresdens after this. All right, so this is a nice straight flat piece. So I'm just going to completely do the rest of all these at my speed, not slow speed. So we're just going to heat it up, press it back. And I use my fingers to press it back as I go. We want these to stay. They should completely end up at 3 inches once this is sewn together. If it's not 3 inches, then you have a problem. When you put the whole block together, I mean. All right, there's number 2. They're very small and they bow easily, so just make sure you're pressing them super flat. And I have the steamy iron, so this steams as I go. So kind of helps quite a bit actually to steam as I go. And keeping it nice and flat. Next one. Just lay them flat out of the way for now. We're going to be making 84 patches. Yes, this one I did not go over at first. I'm just pushing it back. Why? Because I'm used to it.
Yep, see, Diane even says, Tiff, you need to give those to Scott. Have him press.
No.
See, Diane knows.
Today I'm doing it all by myself.
Joe says Riley Chris is watching.
Who?
Riley Chris is watching.
what that is.
Is watching you.
Oh.
It's a person, I take it. I'm not sure. Joe says that. I'm not sure what Joe means by that, but I thought
Oh,
maybe...
her granddaughter.
Oh.
Is that
okay.
slowing down, Joe?
Yeah, slowing down
it's
Joe.
her granddaughter. She wanted to watch me make this.
Oh, well, there you go. That's awesome,
Her
Joe.
granddaughter is going to get this quilt when she's not around anymore.
And Elena says, I'm hand quilting on a Christmas table runner for myself. Yes, I know, a little late, but I spent all pre-Christmas doing gifts for other people. Oh, well, I'm super early for next year.
That works. Get it done early.
Slowing down, Joe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
For Nancy.
Okay. Well, there you go, Joe. You get to watch the thing being done.
Yep. All right.
Everybody has different names on here then in real, so yeah, sometimes I don't know who's who. Sorry.
And again, pressing them to my dark color.
Judy's actually working from home and catching you in between meetings. Did you say you were setting the seams first?
Yes.
She asked.
Sort of. Yes, sort of. I was at first because it's probably easier for you guys to do it that way. But for me, I just do my thing. Because we don't want to change the size when we get these put together.
Teresa asked, do you think this can be done with FQs? I take it that's fat quarters?
Fat quarters, yes,
Yep.
you could do this with fat quarters. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the camera down.
So that was a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to come down here. And now we're going to cut 45-degree cuts. I know some of you are not used to this, so let's get this so you can know how this works. So I'm going to pull these completely out of the way. Find your mat. Look at your mat and go, oh, here's a 60, here's a 45, here's a 30. I want the 45. So what we're going to do is you can see at the ends, they're not the same size. As long as the selvage from this end right here crosses a specific line that I choose. So say I want the 1, I'm going to lay this right here on the 45. And now it's crossed over the 1. And I'm going to line this next one.
See you later, Suburban. Suburban can't stay. She'll watch later. She's hurting.
I'm going to put it on top of it so it's nice and lined up. They're just laying on top of each other as straight as possible. It's kind of hard when I have all that right there. There's really no line reference, so you have to just eyeball this, or you can cut one at a time if you're not confident. Okay, so that's about the same all the way down. My strips are straight, so it should line up really nicely. I am making sure that all these salvages right here at this end are crossing over my 1-inch line right here at the start.
Auntie has a question. She said these can be made cutting a jelly roll strip in half if you're careful with the cut.
A jelly roll strip in half is 1 1/4 inch. These are 1 3/4 inch. So I mean, you can use the jelly roll strips if you want to, but then you have a little tiny sliver left, and you're wasting a lot of fabric. If that makes any sense at all. And I'm used to cutting a ton of pieces at a time, so that's why I'm stacking so many. You guys can do 1 or 2 at a time if you want. I'm just going to stack them all so that you can see how this works. And you can see they're evenly spaced, so I have about a little over 1/2 inch in between each time I lay a new one on here, and I'm always laying the selvage beyond that 1-inch line. So they stagger like this so that I can cut them all at the same exact time. I work with diamonds a lot, so that's why I'm so used to this. But if you guys just want to do 1 at a time, that would be easier. And again, everything is on this 40. I'm going to move it out of the way so you can see this 45-degree line. Everything is on that. Keep it on that line.
Auntie Ann says, oh geez, my brain is not mathing today.
So now I'm going to grab another ruler.
Don't worry, Auntie. Tiff and I have that problem a lot.
And I'm going to line it up right here on this 1-inch line. You can see all of my selvages have passed that line. There is a little bit of a waste right here, but that's because I could probably bring these ones up more, but I'm not going to because I already have them all laid nice and flat and straight. And I can use that for something else anyway.
Kim asked, did you say 1 3/4 inch wide?
Yes. 1 3/4 inch wide, and then the white is 1 3/4 inch wide put together. So I'm gonna line this up and I'm gonna start my cut right here. So all this right here, don't move anything else, just pull all those out of the way. Those can be saved for who knows what. You can make scrap something. Now I'm going to do that same exact thing. I'm going to take my 1 3/4 inch line and I'm going to line it up right here. And all rulers, every single one of them have a 45-degree line on them. So if you find 1 3/4, there's a 45-degree line all over these rulers. So let's use this one to show you to start. So I'm going to go to 1 3/4. Let's see. This one has my 45 right here at the top. This one has my 45-degree right here at the top, which is like way down here. So here's my 45 lining up. Just going to show you 1 3/4, 1 3/4 that I just cut. So it's lined up with that cut that I just made, and my 45 is going along the top, just like that.
Both strips are 1 3/4 inch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And now I'm subcutting 1 3/4 inch. So my 45 is lined up along this 45 piece, and my 1 3/4 inch is lined up along right here. And I am going to cut now, just like that. The only thing I'll move out of the way is those. That's the big ruler. Little ruler should be exactly the same. Those out of the way. 1 3/4 inch line, and here's a 45-degree line right here.
Laundered cotton said, but the white is 1 3/4.
Yes, white and the blue. They're both 1 3/4 inch. So 1 3/4 right here. 45-degree line was lined up, and these should be exactly the same size because the rulers pretty much should always be the same. So they're exactly the same. So there's just a bunch of those. We need 40 in total. You know? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And yes, I cut a lot of pieces and there'll be extra, but that is okay. So again, I'm lining up the 45-degree line with the top. I already know that the bottom is lined up, and I'm lining the 1 3/4 inch line up on the cut edge. I'm just going to continue cutting until it's all cut up.
And you need 40 in total, right?
I'm making 40 pieces of total, so I need 80 of these.
Okay.
So I need 80, and I don't know how many I got, but I'm going to cut until I can't cut no more. Because again, anything that's left over can be used for something else.
Do you want me to cut any for you?
Nope, we got it. And when I run out of room on my cutting mat, then I can just slide the pieces down, and I'll show you right now because I'm going to slide them down.
Mary says, draft, I didn't get notified again. What are we making?
A Lonestar. So I'm going to slide this down just like this, keeping this 45-degree line on here. So the pieces are still on the 45-degree line. Okay. I don't need to line this up on this side with anything special. I just need my ruler. So 1 3/4 inch. And again, my 45 could line up down here on this or up here along the top of the piece. It doesn't really matter as long as you have some kind of way to know that you're cutting accurately the whole time.
Diane asks, how many strips?
6. I made 6 strip sets. So that's 6 from this and 6 from the white. And now I need to make, there needs to be 80 of these to create 44 patches once these are together. Okay. So I'm just going to keep cutting because I know for a fact I am not at 80. Yes, iron, I know.
You done with it for a while?
Yeah. So I'm cutting until I have 80 of these. 1 3/4 all the way, all the way. Think that's about 80? I don't think so. Not yet.
Anyway, hi Mary.
And then when they go together, you'll see this is how they will go. And I think I'm doing them backwards.
Hi,
I
Brenda.
sure am.
Brenda says hi.
There we go. They're going this way because the whites need to be on this side. I almost lost myself. No, yeah, hook backwards, Tiffy. They work just fine either way. Duh.
Heather said she was scrolling YouTube and saw that you were scheduled for 15 minutes.
Yep. And if you find that you're like starting to bow, you can just straighten that up real quick. Like I kind of look like I'm starting to bow. So like we'll line up this 45-degree angle.
Thank you, Teresa.
Right here. Let's line it up on a different one. This is kind of starting to do it.
Auntie Ann says 80 for one color. Yikes. I may pass out now. This is why I have only thought about making the Lonstar.
So see, I just had to cut like a little sliver off because it's starting to bow. It happens the more and more and more you cut, you'll start like getting off. And that's the same with jelly roll strips. If you're making jelly roll strips too, it'll start to get off just a little bit. And that's okay. I straightened it back up. All right, that should almost be enough. Almost be enough. Like I said, any extra, I'm just going to use for other things, which is okay. And you just cut what's left. Like that. And I doubt that I'll get 1 3/4. Yep. All right, so that's it. The rest can go in my, so there should be 80 here, or at least like 5 or 6 over, something like that. I tried to do some math, but obviously you guys know that I can't always correct math. So before I switch to the camera over to the sewing machine, this is again how they're going to let my whites are going to the outsides like this. Okay, so I'm going to put these all together like this, where the whites go to the outside. And since everything is pressed to the dark, when I put the two together, I have to pay attention to this. When I put the two together like this, right sides together, I create that seam. Everything we press to the dark, and it should work out perfectly. So let's show you guys how to do this. As long as I'm paying attention, I should be able to chain piece all of these through just like that. It goes pretty quick once I start.
Trust me.
So we're going to go over to the sewing machine. And we're going to start piecing these. Make one so that I can pay attention that I want my whites on the outside. That's how I designed it. So if I look at my thing, I have my whites running across here horizontally, right? This is diagonal, this is horizontal, this is vertical, right? Okay,
Yeah.
So horizontally. Sometimes I confuse myself.
Well, I always think of it as the sun is on the horizon. I mean, you know, you see the sun. That's just
So I'm going to
straight
put
side
these
side.
right sides together like this, right sides together, and I'm going to leave a little 1/4 inch piece right here because these are not tail end cut off pieces, and a little 1/4 inch piece sticking out right there. So you can see it's equal on both sides. I'm going to run this through. Now, if you want to pin, you can, but seriously, you're making 40 blocks. I don't know if you really want to pin every 40 pieces, you know. I'm just going to pay attention by folding this back and looking where that blue lines up if I fold it back 1/4 inch, and it looks like it will line right perfectly up. Oops, stay down right there. So I took a stitch, I'm down in it. I just need to cross over that spot. Once I open this, I can open it and look and go, it's either perfect or it's not. I'm going to press it back so that you can see. It's not perfect, this one. I'm going to be doing a ton of them. So after the more I do, the more it should line up. So we're looking for them to come together right here to where it looks like these two are touching. These two are touching perfectly. So let's do that again.
Awesome. Auntie Ann says, oh, that looks pretty familiar. 4-patch. Okay, maybe.
Okay.
What
It's-
size?
These are diamonds though. Just know that they're diamonds. So again, I'm going to put it right side together.
Well, she asked, what size is the quilt going to be?
It's going to be full size when it's done.
And there's 6 colors. She asked how many
Yep.
colors. 6
There's
colors.
6 colors.
Auntie
The
Ann,
6 color quilt.
I'll show you guys again. The 2 colors Tiff is using.
So I'm starting
Neat.
my thread right in that V, just so you know. We've done diamonds before on my channel, so we're just doing it again. So I'm gonna fold that back. It looks like it's gonna be perfect. Looks like it, but it doesn't always come out that way. All right, this is how they should touch. This one came out perfect. So you should have the 2 blues or whatever color you're using. Those should touch, and these should touch right there in that center. That one came out perfect. So you can see that. That's the way I want to iron it. Obviously, it'll look even better. So if there's 3 or 4 that aren't that way as whole entire disaster, then that should be good. So again, I want my accent color on the top and bottom and my whites on the sides. Again, I'm putting them right sides together like that. And then I'm sliding it to where there's a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch there. And I'm going to start my needle sewing down at that V. When it's laying at the sewing machine, I will be peeling this back like this. And if those line up where the 1/4 inch seam is going to cross, then you're going to have a good, nice, pretty seam.
Diane says it bows because the fabric shifts slightly with each cut.
Yeah, a little bit. Not too much, though.
And Elena says, oh, pretty blues.
Yes.
Auntie Ann says, sweet, mine's looking good.
So I'm going to check this one, and then I'm going to just start chain piecing them all through. Oh, that one's way off.
And yes,
That
thank
is
you,
so
Ellen.
off that I'm going to pluck it out and slide it down.
Heather says, I think it's a bucket list quilt.
It's not that hard. Honestly, it's not. Obviously, while I'm picking here, but I
Well, Teresa
sometimes
asked
want
her
to.
if it was a customer quilt, and
Yes.
I typed in that yes, it is, and she's
Yes.
watching now. And then Heather says, I did a bucket list quilt.
Yeah.
Hi, Carla. Carla says, good morning from Auburn,
Mm.
Washington.
I'm just picking this out real quick so I could slide it down just a little. It needs to go down. And when that happens, just slide it down. I'm going to start chain piecing them all through though. And once they're all chain pieced at the end, if there's a couple that aren't lined up properly, then I'll fix them, but shouldn't be too many. And it's not that hard to unpick and line everything back up again. Again, you can pin it if you want, and I'll show you that actually. Let's just throw a pin in it so you can see. Get all this extra thread off of here.
And Heather says, okay, it can be a my bucket list quilt.
So we're going to take a pin. Where did it go? There's a pin right there. I always put the pin in sideways. So like I'll line this up. Just going to right there. And then I'll peel it back. So I need to come down just a little. Peel it back to where there's a 1/4 inch peeled back. Okay. And I drop a pin in there right here. Go through like that, sideways like that. And I can see through the fabric. They look like they're going to line right up. So when it's peeled back that 1/4 inch, there we go. Those should be touching. So needs to slide down just a little bit that way.
Ellen says, I'm going to try this. I have a pattern for this.
There we go. They should be touching. It's hard to show you guys this on camera.
You can do it, Ellen. We have faith.
So peel it back. Look, okay, it's touching at that 1/4 inch junction. And I'll move my pin out. And now it should be good. And it's perfect. I just needed to slide it down a little. So every time I pull them off, I'm just going to finger press. But now I'm just going to start chain piecing them through. Once you get that down, it should go perfectly every time. I mean, you're just running them over and over. I check the junction to make sure before I start sewing anymore. I'm not going to worry about checking it anymore though. I want that up like that and that up like that. I'm making sure before I start sewing them that I'm sewing them in the correct direction too, because I don't want that all moved out of the way, getting all messed up. Peel it back and look.
Kim says, I have the pattern and fabric. I look at the fabric and think, nope, not today.
This will probably take at least, I don't know, 5, 6 videos to complete. But that's because after I get the star part done, I will be making things up as I go, like I usually do. And then I'll still tell you everything that I'm doing now, just so that you could still make it. Oh, and this should finish. Let me press this. Oh, it's not hot anymore, huh?
I unplugged it. You
Okay.
want me to plug it back in?
It's hot enough to hold it down for just a second. Once these are complete, I just want to tell you right now, if you lay it, I'll just lay up here. If you lay it flat like this, kind of sideways, right? So it's kind of sideways, and you take your ruler and lay it on here, this side to this side, like this, it should be 3 inches, okay? So let me hold this up to the camera so you can see. If you're laying it sideways like that, it should come out 3 inches. See that? It's on the 3-inch mark, and it's probably past it or not past it because I'm trying to hold the piece, but it should be 3 inches side to side, not up and down, not this way, not that way. It's from this side to this side, 3 inches exact. If they're not coming out 3 inches exact, you need to check your 1/4 inch seam, because these are to be finishing at 3 inches. I want to make sure that I reiterate on that one, because it won't fit together and it'll change the size of everything if they're not. So
Listen to this, honey.
Oh.
Heather says, Blah, my hair is annoying today. Getting tired of looking like a demented rooster. I typed to her, Heather, you're a hoot.
you guys should have seen me when I woke up. All of this was sticking up.
Yep. Tiff had to
I
do
had-
hers before going online.
I had some funky hair this morning, like super funky. Definite big time bedhead.
Diana's taking notes. She says, I'm taking notes. But don't worry, my love. My hair was a little messed up this morning, too, you know.
What hair?
Yeah.
Every time I sit at this machine, I get fuzzies up my nose. So now I'm just going to chain piece all these through. One right after the other. And I'm checking them before I, complete the sewing. So I'm rolling each seam back and looking to make sure that they're going to land where I want them to. And it is. And then adjusting and holding everything as I go. As long as they're all laying the correct direction. And if I wasn't checking every single one of these, it would probably go a lot faster. But I want to make sure it's correct, because this is for a client. It's not for me. This is not just because I'm doing a tutorial just to show you to do something. I'm actually making it for someone, because the next 2 quilts that I'm doing here on videos is because they are for clients.
Teresa says we need to buy some hair clippers. Heather says, I have a section on the side sticking straight out from the side of my head.
I'm just trying to remember that the white, before I sew them, I'm doing the white sticks up on the lower piece and the blue on the topper piece. That's how I know I'm doing them all the same direction. And if I have all 80 pieces messed up, then oh well. I will make it work. So what's everybody else working on? Anybody doing anything fun and exciting? Don't forget, you can share in the group if you're doing whatever you're working on, so that I can see, everybody else can see what we talk about here.
Auntie Ann has a question here. She says, would this maybe be easier with double-sized pieces? The small pieces are overwhelming, but that would involve math.
What do you mean will it be better with double-sized pieces?
With the pieces being bigger.
You can make them bigger if you want, but I am doing 3-inch diamonds, so that's why I needed my double piece sets to equal 3 inches when put together. So I did do some basic easy math to come to the conclusion with the 1 3/4 inch plus 1 3/4 inch. Makes it easy, right? Take away the seam and you got a 3-inch piece. In the back, it looks like it's going to be nice. And for just quality, through and look at some of these.
Quality control. I
They
like
look
that.
good to me.
I like that quality control.
Control, making sure it's good.
Gotta make sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Patty. He says hi.
You left. I
Look.
know. I saw your car there when I turned the window.
But then I saw them and I came and got CJ for lunch.
I told you it wasn't going to be long.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Patty says, thank you so much for your help. Baby quilt looks amazing. Final pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
CJ will be back in a little while.
Okay.
You guys are going somewhere?
Oh, he's already gone.
Oh, we walked?
Oh, Maxine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
Yeah, that's
forgot she
fine.
called and
She's got a nice new car.
As long as he does his chores, he can be on all.
Her new car's nice. Smokes.
Oh. Is burning oil smoke, you mean? White
I
smoke?
think piston is probably out on it. But it'll last her. It's
What kind of car?
Huh?
What kind of car?
and if you guys hear in the
Oh, so she didn't
background,
have to buy
that's
it.
Justin and Scott talking.
Hi everybody, bye everybody.
So she didn't have to actually buy it then? She just used
She's
it?
buying it. She's buying it.
Oh, but it's his car?
I think she's going to pay him for
Oh.
it.
Oh, I figured he was just letting her use it.
No,
She
it's-
sell hers already then?
I believe so.
Last
Well,
she told me
it's-
she didn't have a title. I don't know if she ever went and got her title.
I don't. Well, no, they got. She's like kind of the half break.
Ah,
I have no
okay.
idea how many I am at so far, but I'm just going to sew them all. Like I said, if we have extra, we have extra.
It's a 750 Li.
I
You can
need
do that.
40
It's a big car.
of them.
Like
I
This
don't
much
think
is
I'm
gonna
at
be
40 yet.
this much space from the back, from where the legs sit. Like that much
Yeah.
space.
Cotton thread
So
going
big.
up my
I never
nose.
worked on one of those parts. Aren't parts like really expensive? Are they hard to work on? You know?
eBay.
Yeah.
Just get them eBay parts. Yeah.
Never worked
Just
on
like
those
laying
farm
them
sort of
here
leather
in
cars.
front of me.
It's quiet. Sounds nice.
That's good. Oh, they're saying hi to you. Kim says hi.
Hi. Hi everybody.
If you guys
Nancy
don't know
says
who
I-
Justin is, it's my friend, and he's been on a couple videos before making stuff with me.
Yes, he's been on videos actually working, yeah. Auntie says, I'm still doing a 50 blocks and 50 days challenge, sort of a sampler virtual sew along.
That's fun.
Alright guys, I am going.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Drive safe.
Well, anyway, I told Heather, I typed on here that she should take a picture and put it on Facebook so we all could hear her. She never commented back, so I don't know.
Yeah, she
I never got a
that.
comment back on that, so I don't know.
Does it feel like I've sewn 40 yet? Let's count. I don't think this is 40 pieces though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, I'm nowhere near 40 yet. Oops, I have to correct direction the first time. So, in other news, since I always update you guys when I'm on my videos, I told you guys I had a biopsy of my hole in my hip, or my half a butt cheek, or whatever you want to call it. It's on the side. Turns out I have another autoimmune disease. Seriously, I do. It's called scleroderma. Like, seriously, they would have never found it. And I may try to explain this. The doctor says that most likely I've had scleroderma in my body. It's been probably wreaking havoc on me for years. But when I was on my valley fever medication, she says valley fever, measles, mumps, malaria, certain cancer medications, certain antifungal medication, just certain medicines actually intensify if it's already in your body. So she said most likely my hip caved in, or that big huge hole on the side started caving in because the scleroderma was activated by a medication, most likely brought on because I have a fever. Seriously, like, just more stuff. So I had to have a lot more blood tests ran to check things, because now they have to check to see if my gut problems and if my lung problems are gonna get worse with, you know, time, because I had valley fever. And yeah, so now I have 2 autoimmune diseases. Seriously. Like, I guess I'm just a walking medical experiment. I guess I was birthed to be studied.
You have a question.
What's the question?
Judy asks, Tiff, I have a friend who wants me to make her a throw-size quilt using her mom's clothes. Her mom passed away. I am thinking about just doing a quilt made from a basis 4-inch square. What do you suggest?
If it's just all sorts of different clothes, I would do like I did, go to my memory quilt videos, or the random clothing quilt video series. I chop up all sorts of different kinds of clothing and I put it together and create something. That would be the best thing, because trying to make clothes, like all different style clothes and stuff, fit all in one quilt seems kind of hard, you know? And it's very time consuming, because you also have to put interfacing on everything so that it stays nice. Like, it's a lot of work. But I would suggest just a bunch of squares, putting a whole bunch of squares together and doing it that way.
Judy said thanks.
Unlike a t-shirt quilt where you know, add regular quilting cotton for some sashing and everything to put together. Or you can put it together like a puzzle, you know.
Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie's got done cutting strips for charity quilts, so she just got on. She's glad you're making a Lonestar because she has one to finish. She says it's been over 25 years in a box.
Well, this isn't the only Lonestar, because guess what is inside?
Hi, Nancy.
This
Nancy
tub.
says hi.
2 more Lonestars that were started and not finished. Like, I literally have a ton of started projects under there. So, but this one's being custom done. So.
And Auntie says, "Oh crap, that makes you very cold sensitive and causes a lot of joint issues.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. Stay warm. It helps." And yes, Auntie, Tiff cannot handle the cold
Now
of
you
any
know.
kind.
Now we know why I probably have always had never had a good tolerance for cold weather.
That's why you
Why I
like the
shiver
heat
and
here.
freeze. And
she does have lots of joint issues.
and I thrive here. A lot of my MS friends that have MS too say, like, it's too hot there. There's no way. I would be blah, 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 sick all the time. And I'm like, but for some reason I thrive in this heat. I love it. So now we know why. Because a problem in my body that I never even knew about.
Auntie Anna's scleroderma sometimes is accompanied by a host of other disorders called CREST. She says, hang in there.
Yeah. But that's what the doctor's testing me for, all sorts of other stuff. So.
And Elena says, autoimmune issues. My husband suffers from rheumatoid arthritis. Sorry to hear you have had more. If it's not the diseases, it's the drugs that are meant to help end up causing issues too.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the way it seems to work, Elena.
I wonder if I'm at 40 now.
Do you want me to
I
count?
have 1, 2,
Do
3,
you want me to count?
4.
Get them over here, I'll count.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll snip and you count. Try to keep those out of the way. I don't want to overmake. I can keep those and make them another time. I'm just trying to make this quilt specifically. and have fun with it while I'm doing it. And they're tangling up. So yeah, now I got more things to deal with. And the tests that she ordered were so rare that the lab had to find out about it by researching what vials that it's supposed to go in. Because you know how the blood vials have like a little jelly stuff or whatever in the bottom to help separate blood and from whatever. Well, they had to know
32.
what vials. 32 plus
30.
these two.
Those make 32. 32
Okay.
total.
So yeah, they had to take 8 vials of blood for different weird tests that they never run. But at least it's getting, you know, further. And I also had my CT of my lungs, and is it next week is my appointment?
Yes.
Yeah, so next week I'll see the doctor to see if
Yes, on
I've
Friday.
had any changes. So I'll know more about that next week.
Bonnie says, sorry to hear you have something else. Heather says, if it's not one thing, it's another.
Yep. It's always been like that.
Heather also said she's been freezing her butt off for almost 2 months, but she blames it on the pregnancy for that one.
I was always sweaty when I was pregnant. It was like carrying an extra body of heat on me.
Well, thank you, Kathy. Kathy says, my thoughts and prayers are always with you, Tiffany.
Thank you. Yeah, and there's supposedly not much she can do for me now, the doctor, because I have MS. So certain medicines are just going to cross over and counteract with each other. And yeah, so right now there's nothing I can do besides get these tests results back. So there's the newest news in my medical life. And this piece is not correct. Trying to talk him. So right there. When science gets a hold of my body, they're going to be like, wow. No, it's going to be one of those things. They're going to really want to study my corpse.
Anyway, on a lighter note, thank you everyone for checking out Tiff's Etsy in the past few days. I've been working hard to get it going, so thank you very much for that.
Oh yeah, so for those of you who haven't noticed, in the description below it always said my shop is empty right now, but here's a link to it. You know, it's always been there. There's a link to my Etsy shop, but it hasn't had anything in it for like almost 2 full years. Well, now my quilts are listed in it. So if you are interested, or you know someone, or you would just like to share my Etsy shop just to get it out there, that would be so wonderful. I'd appreciate it. Go to the link down below to my Etsy shop and click on it, and then the Etsy itself has a link in the top right corner of the screen that has like a little arrow thing with 3 dots on it. You hit that and you can share it to any kind of social media that you want to, or to just someone in a messenger or whatever. So if you're, you know, in a bind and you don't want to make something for someone, and you're like, hey, well, I know someone else who makes quilts and there's already some done, go choose from that. Then, you know, that's probably the best way to get it out there. All right, how many did you say this was?
I think I said you were at 32.
33.
I
Oh,
should have
those are
typed it in one of
32.
the
33.
things here. I've been typing stuff to them. I should have typed
34,
it in one of my
35,
things.
36. Oh yeah, I think I did plenty good with my measurement numbers.
Teresa said, I hate dog farts, Willa. And then Kim says to Teresa, she says, just taking a drink of tea, now I have to wipe the floor.
That's funny.
Well, thank you, Nancy. She says, I looked at your beautiful quilts yesterday.
Awesome. Yeah, I figured Scott's gonna man that. Obviously I have to help by like writing the descriptions and stuff, but he's gonna be the one that mans that and gets things shipped out and so on.
I put it in the comments at the top, that thanking them all for checking it out. I told them I've been trying to get it going, but I'm not a technical genius, so it takes me a while. But I got most everything on there.
There'll be bags and stuff, and as things are made that I decide I want to sell, those will be listed in there.
And all you guys that are a subscriber, let her know that you're a subscriber. You get 5% off.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to buy something they saw on there just through us here, you can send Tiff an email and tell her what it is, and we'll just send it to you and cut
remove the
cut
listing.
Etsy out and remove the listing, and then you'll get 10% off
Yeah.
if you want to do it that way. But other than that, we're not here to sell stuff. We're here to teach. So we just had to throw that out there, though. Okay, I'm going to count these again and make sure. Okay.
I'm showing them all together either way because I only needed there was only a couple extra. So instead of picking seams, I can take the ones that have the best seams. That works out perfect for me. So I don't have to pick.
Sounds smart.
Yep, just make them all. Make them all. All right. Oops, that way. So this is the 4-patch part, and the next part is pressing. And I'm going to start by pressing 1 and show Scott how to do it.
You need 4 more, and you'll have 40. I got them in stacks of 10. 10, 10, 10, and 6.
I'm going to make sure Scott's pressing them right. He's going to start pressing these. So you can get the iron on now.
Okay.
While I cut more stuff up.
Hi, Emily. We have another Emily. Emily Harwell. She says hello from Hawaii. Finally caught you live.
That's where my sister lives.
Yep, Tiff has a sister in Hawaii, so thank you for joining us.
My sister was there.
Auntie Ann said earlier, scleroderma affects connective tissue too,
Yep,
so lung issues are common.
She told me lung, heart, connective tissue,
Can't
joints,
do anything about it. For sure. Sorry.
heat intolerance. She told me all sorts of stuff. And that there's not very many things that can be done about it. And I've already Googled it and looked up a few websites to see, about it, like WebMD, that kind of thing. Not WebMD. Yeah, WebMD.
Thank you, Judy. Judy says awesome to hear about the Etsy link.
Yeah.
She said she looked at it and was pleased to see that it was in Canadian dollars. She said she has a lot of friends in the U.S. we'll be sharing. I don't know if they change it from different countries, but as far as I know, it should be in American dollars.
I don't know how that works either. All right. So I don't know how many you said you needed more.
Just 4.
All right.
Emily says she's new to quilting too. Oh, I don't care. So I'm excited to see how this works out. I want to try new things. And then Teresa told her to join the
Facebook group.
Yes, if I could talk. The Facebook group. Sorry, my tongue is tied.
Okay,
So thank you, Teresa. That's awesome.
These are what I'm making. 4 patches to start. I'm going to take this over to the ironing board and show Scotty what to do real quick.
Yes, let's go
And then
iron.
he can just iron all of this while I cut up fabric. So let me show
iron.
him this first real quick.
I don't have an Iron Man shirt for nothing.
Oh,
Well, you can do this one still hot, so you can show me what you want.
heat the seam. Oh, it's not hot enough. Just give it a second to warm up. All right, while that's warming up for him, the next section, after cutting all these out,
Kim says you're a great teacher.
the next section is figuring out how many pieces we need to cut because of all these. I don't necessarily want to overcut, but the extra diamonds will help for what I want to do in the blank areas. So whatever I have left over from my random measurements that I made here, anything that I have cut and have left over after I make 8 of these big, huge 6 across by 6 down diamond blocks, anything left over is going to go towards my add-ons. So just know that I'm extra cutting purposely because I will be using it elsewhere in the quilt as well as the border. So the next is my E piece is on both top and bottom. Okay. But I also have E running along the center, and my E is the blue scratch fabric. That would be this one. So I looked on my chart. I made sure I named them. So W is the white, because that was easiest. A was this print, or not this print. A is the leaf turquoise print, which is this one. And then my B is the blue dots, which is this one. And you can mark them with little whatever. I just wrote it on paper. My C is the paisley flowers. So anytime I'm referring to these letters, you'll know. And then my D is the blue sky fabric, which you guys just saw me use, which is this right here that's mixed with the white. And then my E is the blue scratch fabric. So right now I'm going to go start cutting the E, which is the blue scratch fabric. And from that, we're cutting 3-inch strips. I need to cut 7 of them and cut it because I need 64 diamonds.
Okay, what am I doing here? Iron it flat like that?
And give me 2 seconds to show Scott what to do. And
And
then
I'm opening it?
slowly open, because see how it's kind of does this weird.
I can do that.
You want to keep it as square as possible.
That's easy. And Squeak got it.
Okay, so heat it. And then roll it back. And then try, all these look like they match, but anything that doesn't match, put it in a separate pile. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to come down to fabric cutting now. And I'm going to show you
Auntie
before
Ann
I
says those are
get to that.
such
So here is E up here, and here is E down here, and here is E across. So you got to think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that go across there itself. There's 8 of these blocks need to be made, and there's 6 there, 7, 8 there. So 8 times 8 is 64. So I need 64 of those in squares. So I cut that down to where I need 7 strips by doing a little bit of math. I didn't do a lot of math, but I did a little bit of math. That 7 strips will give me 84 3-inch diamonds. And I forgot to turn the camera down while I was right there, so that you guys can see center right here. This I get the diamonds. So I'm going to start by straightening my edge up, because obviously the fabric was not straight, but I did press it. So I'm just going to line this ruler up on the top right here. And
Is
then,
that good?
yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
And then slide it over to where I'm cutting a nice, perfectly straight line. Just like that. So I'm going to start with my straightening it up. And I'm just going to throw my trash out of the way, and we're going to turn this ruler around because I want the 3-inch marks. We're cutting 3 inches. So I'm going to line up my 3-inch mark, and I'm going to cut 7 3-inch strips from this blue fabric.
How picky are we? That one's pretty close. That one good?
That's fine. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. So I'm cutting 7 of these from this E fabric, my E, because I'm on E right now. And these are not getting chain piece, so these are going to get subcut. So there's a lot of cutting involved here, guys, the way I'm doing it. If you were just going to cut and sew and then subcut afterwards, that's the easiest way to do a Lonestar,
Okay.
but you cannot.
Is he a different pile?
Yes, it's a little
Okay.
bit separated.
Well, yeah.
So you cannot add these singulars in with a chain piece by strip. There's no way to strip piece these fellers in. So that is why I have to do like this. So I'm cutting 7 3-inch strips from this fabric. And this is why I gave you guys a big estimate on how much fabric you needed. I always buy more than I need because the rest can be used towards more stuff later on.
It's way
I'm just
easier
gonna
to buy too much and have leftovers than
move
not
that.
enough and not be able to find it again.
Yeah,
Believe me, we learned that on a customer quilt.
yeah, it's
One of
very
the reasons it took so long to finish one quilt was because we had a hard time finding fabric again. We didn't buy enough to finish.
that was 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. 2 more makes 7. And then we're going to be cutting this. Like I said, it'll be quite a few videos of doing this, and maybe some of it will be off screen, only because once I show you it once, it's okay to figure it out on your own the rest of the time.
Something else.
All right, so there are 7 now cut from this. So E, what I'm just going to do on my little chart here Where's my pencil? Where'd my pencil
I
go?
can get you one.
Nope, I found it. I'm just going to put a little check mark next to E because I've already cut it. Now I'm going to be subcutting it. And my D and W also get a check mark because those are already complete. So I'm going to move this out of the way because I don't need D anymore. All right. Now I'm going to be leaving these folded in half because I'm going to get mirror image pieces with it folded in half. Okay.
Mary
So-
didn't get to hear you talking about your appointment. She was wondering if you could repeat it.
Oh, I have scleroderma. It's another autoimmune disease. So not only do I have MS, now I have scleroderma, which was most likely already in my body, but having had valley fever, it most likely set it off because valley fever and certain cancers and malaria and diseases like that can set it off. So most likely I've been living with it for years and didn't even know it because nobody ever tested me for it. And then the valley fever hit and my hip caved in, and that's what the biopsy showed. That's what happened. All right, I'm just going to start with these right here, one at a time. They're still folded in half like this. I'm going to put these on my 45-degree.
This is a keeper, right? Points are sort of bare, but
Oh, yeah,
no
they're
one will
perfect.
notice that. No
That's
one will
perfect.
notice.
Again, here's my selvages down on
Perfect.
this end.
Perfect.
So if my selvages are right here, I want them to cross a number. All of it, whole selvage. So I'm going to start by putting it on the 5. I'm lining my whole entire folded in half still strip. It doesn't matter because it's getting cut mirror image strips anyway, or mirror image cuts. Everything is crossing that 5 down here on the bottom. It's lined up on my 45-degree line. And we are going to subcut now into, we're going to cut this off right here on this side first, making a nice straight starting cut. So I'm going to cut this right here. I have it lined up on my 5 to make it easier. I'm going to hold it down nicely because it is a nice big thick stack. And I'm going to just cut that off. I'm not throwing that away because this can be used for something else. I love my scraps, let me tell you. Now I'm going to use the 45-degree angle on my ruler, line it up on the top of this strip.
That's an off one.
Yes, that's way off.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 inches. So 3 inches is going to line up with the outside. My 45 is lined up there. So 45 and then 3 over. So 3 inches. 45 is lined up and I'm going to cut. And I'm going to be cutting this whole entire thing because I need, what did I say again? 64 pieces. So here are little mirror image 45-degree diamonds. Okay, and I need 64. I should be getting all 64 from all 7 of these strips. I really tried with this math here, guys, to be on target so that I wasn't teaching off the wall numbers. So there's a ton more.
Well, we're all human and we all make mistakes. And plus, some of us have been out of school for a while, so math can be a little.
Here's a ton more. And I'm going until I can't cut no more off this strip and then start with the next set. So you get 4 cuts in total. All right, so there's all those. Now we're going to move on to the next. Just going to do 2 and 2. So I'm just going to line these up. I'm just going to make a nice big stack of them. All this excess I cannot use in this, but I can use this to make something else. So I save all of it. Don't throw it away because I'll show you in a video sooner or later of what you can do with the scraps from this. Because you guys know how I am. I use everything I got. All right, so I'm lining this up, everything's lined up. Gonna make my first straight cut. Both of those selvages are beyond the line. Make my first cut.
Use everything. Every single piece.
Come down here to my 3 inches, and all of everything that I'm cutting from now on is all 3 inches. So from everything that I subcut from all my fabrics, we're cutting 3-inch diamonds, and we are making these whole entire, all 8 of the Lone Star blocks are going to be made without using the strip piece method. They are all going singular.
Emily
that's
says, "Hey, I asked her what to make with scraps."
Yeah, I always try to show you everything I do with the scraps from all my videos. So you
And
guys have
Jeannie
seen
says-
quite a few different things.
Jeannie says, "Oh, I feel your pain about autoimmune. I have rheumatoid arthritis, but I'm doing okay now, man. I really get mad at it and say, you're not going to beat me."
Yeah,
That's good to hear, Jeannie.
that's how I am with having MS, and now I have something new, which sucks. But what can I do? All right, so 3 inches still. I'm lining up that 45-degree line, just cutting 3 inch. And again, if I'm overcutting, obviously I'll use the rest of it. I doubt it though, because I kind of did a little bit of making sure beforehand. That's why what I've been doing the last couple days. That's why you guys didn't see me Monday and Tuesday, because I was attempting to make sure that everything I'm going to be teaching is correct. Because I don't have PDF patterns for you guys to download. Everything that I do is verbal in my videos. So for those that are new to my channel, everything is verbal. So this should be 64 pieces or so, somewhere around there. So color E is done. Now we're going to move on to A.
Honey, could you imagine if we tried to do whatever PDF pattern
Yeah.
thing is? We have a hard enough time putting stuff on Etsy.
Yeah.
In the two of us.
So now I'm going to move to A, and I'm going to find where all in my little diamond chart that I made is A. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So I have 4 A's. I'm going to go to my
Heather
little
says, I
diagram.
think you need one more strip. I don't know if she's joking or being serious. Do you need one more strip? She says, I counted 56, not 64.
Because I cut 7, and I needed 8 for 8 things. Yeah, because I cut 4 off of each. That's right. It's 8 then. Hold on. Let me cut one more strip off of it then.
Good job, Heather. You're on it.
Just one more 3-inch strip and then subcut it real quick. See, I told you guys, I'm not perfect with math. But then I also said I was going to cut these strips in the open mode, not in the closed and half mode, but works the same either way. Okay. Let me subcut this now real quickly. Yeah, because like 4 per, so, and they were stacked in 4s.
You're matching with us. That's good. Getting all the math.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Teresa says you're hired, Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you guys know why I don't write patterns. I tell you in the videos. That'd be horrible. Could you imagine trying to build something of mine and all of a sudden something is wrong because I told you not to do something or I told you whatever? That'd be so hard, and it's written down and everybody's downloaded it. Everybody's mad at me. At least in the videos, it gets corrected while I'm live. If something is off or wrong, I always figure it out in the video.
Kim says we love you anyway.
Right? I suck at math. I'm telling you guys, I am so horrible at math. I think I did it with knowing that this was going to be an open strip all the way down and I would have got one more diamond. That's why I was thinking it was the 7 strips. But I went ahead and did the folded in half. So there should be plenty of that. Let's move on to A. So my A fabric is the leaf, turquoise leaves. So this is my A fabric. And I need 32 of them total, so 4 strips. So 4 3-inch cuts should give me 32, right? If I get 4 from each, that should be 32, right?
I'm reading and doing my thing. You have to tell me.
4 3-inch strips, subcut, stacked them up. That's 4 times 4 each.
4 times 3? Is that what I
4.
meant? 4 times 4 is 16.
So I need 8 strips.
8 times 4? Is that what you're asking? That's 32.
There's no way I need 8 strips. I get 4 every time I cut. I mean, 8 every piece. Yeah, see? I only need 4 strips. See, asking him is confusing myself.
I'm sorry.
I need 8. I need 4 strips because I get 2 every cut.
I just did what you gave me.
That's fine. I was doing it correct.
Okay, in each strip you get 4 pieces.
No, 8. From one strip, I get 8.
Okay. Okay.
So I need 4.
Yes, and you only need 4 strips.
Because I need 64 altogether. I knew I was doing that math correct. I just was wrong on the last one. That's all. Bless you.
Hey.
All right, so we're cutting 3-inch strips, only 4 of them from color A.
Kim says, when I run into math issues with quilts, I call my son-in-law and my boyfriend. Both are engineers. There you go.
So I'm cutting 4 from my fabric A. 2.
I have 2 really good friends that are engineers. I wonder what they'd say if I call them up to ask them quilting type questions. Math quilting questions.
3 and 1 more. Nobody ever said a quilter needed to know math or have a degree.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Kim.
Just need to know how to use a calculator. All right, so there's my 4 strips for color A. Put that out of the way. And now I'm just going to leave them folded in half. Same thing. I'm going to subcut them into 3-inch diamonds. I'm going to line them up on the 45-degree line.
Elena says, nice to have someone to think it through with. If I said that to hubby, he would be like, what's for dinner? And ignore the quilty question.
That's funny. All right, so I'm lining one on top and one on the bottom of my 45-degree line, but they are both crossing the 6 line right here. So that it can be subcut together. All at the same time. Lining it up nice and good, nice and good. Everything looks good. Okay, again, don't throw these scraps away. That's plenty of fabric. You cut that salvage off and you have a half square triangle. All right, lining my 45-degree line up, lining my 3-inch line on there. 45 is up there. Everything looks good. Make a cut. Oops, don't let it move though. And one more time. Everything's still nicely lined up. My 45-degree line up there. Everything's still good there. Everything's still good
Polly.
here.
Polly says she just got in from work. London, UK. So what's going on here?
That one got moved accidentally.
Hi, Billy. Billy says, hi, everyone. This is on her bucket list quilt. So we heard that earlier from some other people.
And one more time.
Tell them
Sorry.
again what you're making, my love.
I am making a Lonestar, and I'm walking you guys through the whole entire process to make what I'm making. If you want to make it, then you can go back and watch this video. Actually, multiple videos, because there'll be multiple videos to complete this project. All right, so here should be all 32 of my pieces. All right, so 32 of my A's are now cut, so I definitely want to go back to my chart and go check, 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 check. So all my A's are done. Now we're going to move on to B, because B is the next color. So B is, according to my thing, the blue dots fabric. This is B right here. So now I'm going to go back to my other side of my chart and go B. They're 3-inch. I need 5 strips to get 48 pieces. 5 3-inch strips should give me 48. It'll give me actually 2 extra, letting you guys know. Because now that I'm all having this math problem, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit more accurate. I'm making sure I'm going to cut this nice and straight line right here.
Polly says she's going to definitely have to rewind.
Oh, yeah. The
I'm
videos
sure.
will always be here, and they'll be
Can you
numbered
hand me your
1
chart?
through
You can
however
keep
many.
cutting. They want to see your chart again. I'll hold it up while you cut. Since I'm just ironing in La La Land. Can you see everything there? Can I hold it back a little? Or forward a little? I'm not sure.
Okay, so I'm on 3-inch strips. I'm cutting how many of them now? I'm on B, C. B.
Oh, here. I
I'm
held
on-
it. I held it there
I'm
long
on
enough,
B.
I think.
B is blue dots. B is, I need 48 pieces, so I need 5 strips.
You need me to hold it up again, guys? Just yell.
Yeah, just ask Scott. He'll hold it up again.
I can do it.
And if anything, I could draw it up a little bit better and post it in the Facebook group.
Kim says it was too fine to read.
And my writing's kind of sloppy. Most of this is in my brain, and I just chicken scratch it on a paper. 2. I need 5 of this color. 5 of my B. 3. 4, and 1 more. The 3-inch strips. So just I'm making sure I say that a bazillion times so that you guys know, because I'm making a full-size quilt, so I want the big enough strips. So there are 5 of these.
Yeah, Kim asked if you could post it, please.
Yeah, I'll post in the group after I'm done with the video. I'll take a picture of my sloppy chart.
Yeah. We'll do the best we can to get some nice clear pictures of it and put it on there for you. I'm sure we can handle that one.
So if you want to do this again later and you want my chart to do the 6 colorway with this extra thing that I'm doing by making the 4 patches go along it, then you can come refer to the video with a chart of my scribble on it.
Betty, hi Betty. Betty says you need 6
Awesome.
strips. 8 times
5.
6 is 48.
Huh?
Betty says you need 6
For B.
strips.
I need 48 and I get 4 cuts per. So 6 strips? Seriously? Did I
You
do
need
all
6
this wrong?
6 strips. 8 times 6 is 48.
I'll cut 1 more. We're going to write this on here because you guys are helping me. I was right on the last one though. 2 I've got wrong so far. Told you, I'm not good at math.
Hi SL. SL folks says if you could do it in Sharpie, that would help.
Yeah, I'll do it on another piece of paper and Sharpie. Like I always do. I do that every time I need to give you guys directions.
Heather says
actually.
cut 1 more, Tiff.
I did 6
Okay, maybe she said that before you cut it.
yeah.
I'm not there. I'm trying to iron and read. I'm not quickest here. I'm slow at both. Sorry.
Okay. Here we go.
Sorry.
Lining it up on the line. I want it to say cross over the 7.
She says better too
On
much
the
than
top.
too little. Save yourself the frustration later.
Crossing over the 7. So I'm lining them up. So my selvage is crossing over a specific number, making it easier. I'm gonna come over here.
Yep, Teresa says it's okay. You have lots of helpers.
Yes.
Just
And
be
I
there,
appreciate
paying
it. You guys know that.
They're paying attention. They know what's going on.
I may not be good at math, but some of you can't do the diamonds and stuff, so you're learning. While I some math smarts. I won't remember it later though, so don't worry. Because my brain doesn't work that way. Alright, I'm gonna subcut these into 3-inch. And that totally moved.
Elena says, geez, Scott, keep up, keep up. She is super tough.
I got a little bowing in there because the
She is.
ruler
She's
moved.
quick.
Oh, nope, it didn't move that much.
She's quick.
Okay.
Diane asks how many are needed.
64. Wait, oh, what? I'm on B, right? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
B needs 48 diamonds.
That's the same. That's the 6.
Yeah.
6 times 8 is 48.
6 strips.
Yep, and Heather says you're learning diamonds as you're teaching you math. We all help each other.
I'm telling you guys, my brain does not compute technology. It does not compute math. Even when I'm using a calculator, I do it wrong. Like, I have no idea why, but maybe it's an MS thing. I don't know. I have cognitive issues anyway, so maybe that's part of it.
Well, you have bad memory issues, yes.
And again, don't throw these away because look at how much fabric is here. We're going to make something with all this on another video after my client quilts are done because I can't do it while I'm trying to do client quilts. All right, so B is now cut. So we got A, B. Now we're moving on to C. So I'm going to check off all my B's. And now we're going to C. C needs a lot. So there's 4 up here and there's 4 down here on the chart. So C is 3-inch strips. I need 64 again. So that was 8 strips, right? To get 64.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to change that number to 8 because I need 64 of them. So my C fabric is the paisley flower. Oh,
Heather says.
we're going to cut the C fabric.
Oh, Elena says
And
I
I
think we all
have-
have strength in different areas. Yep.
Yeah. Mine is in sewing fast and being creative of knowing how to make a pattern, I guess. But not knowing how to do the math of it. That's my weakness. If I had somebody who was willing to just turn all my piles of disaster papered patterns into something, that would be so amazing. So I'm lining this up. This is my C fabric now, and I still have D and E to do. D is the blue, you know, and then, oh no, E is already done. I didn't even check that off because they're all cut out. Duh. E is the center. So now I just have C and D.
Oh, this one's way off.
Okay. Let's cut
No, it's not.
a nice straight line right here. And cut some 8 3-inch strips. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I need 8 of them of this color.
Diane says, did you say 48 pieces?
For this one?
I
For this
imagine-
color?
I imagine.
No, 64. C is 64 pieces. I'm cutting. I need 8 strips.
Kim says that is beautiful.
Isn't this a pretty fabric?
And yes, she does use graph paper, SOF. Use graph
I
paper.
have graph paper. I put some of my patterns on graph paper, but the diamond,
Not all the time, she doesn't.
I just wrote it on regular paper.
Mary says, my daughter's really good at figuring things out. We told her if she moves out, she has to come back when we need something fixed.
That's funny. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm cutting 3-inch strips, just to reiterate that a bazillion times. I'm subcutting 3-inch diamonds. 5. And yes, I'm standing to cut instead of sitting because I'm cutting from a bolt.
Mary says those are the prettiest fabrics.
6 and 2 more.
It took her over 2
1, 2,
hours to
3,
pick these
4,
fabrics
5,
out,
6.
so I am loving that you guys love them, because if we'd have wasted all that time and no one would have liked them, I wouldn't have been happy.
I went through several different combinations because the person that this is being made for had color ideas that I could not blend together. I just couldn't put the colors that she wanted in here in the same, it just wouldn't work no matter how many different combinations I tried. So this is what I ended up with, and this is a beautiful combination. So okay, now to cut all these. I'm just going to subcut into 3-inch diamonds.
Elena says, oh, you got them spot on. They are awesome.
Yes. Well, we'll see what it looks like when they're finally together. Because I had them laying next to each other in a pile, and all together they look awesome, you know. And I put them in the order that I wanted them in, and it looked even more awesome. So I'm hoping that nothing is drawn or taken from the look when I put them into the quilt, because once they're in diamonds it becomes a different thing, so you got to take that into consideration too. Once something is you know, a certain way. Am I going on the 5? I'm going on the 5. 5 right there. So I'm lining them up on my 45-degree line, one on the top of it and one on the bottom. I'm making sure both of these are going at the selvage beyond the same number. So this one is the 5, is the number I have myself crossed on. I'm going to make my first cut. And my 45-degree line is like crossing over the center of these as well. So it definitely has 100%. And I'm cutting 8 layers at a time. So you don't have to do that though, but I am. Because, well, I just do it because it's easier for me. As long as it's all nice and straight and lined up.
Mary says, blue has always been my color.
Yeah, this is going to be an awesome quilt. I'm going to love it and be like, oh, I really have to give this to the person who paid for it. And blue isn't even my color, but there's like purple shade looking in here. So
yes,
it's like
Tiffany's a purple girl.
I'm a purple girl, but just the slight amount of purple mixed with all this blue. It's just slight, you know, it's barely there, but it looks so good together.
Slowing down, Joe. Are you still on here? I hope you like the colors.
She does. She already told me a bazillion times.
I know. I wanted her to chime in. She was on here earlier. I didn't know if she was still here.
Her granddaughter is probably still here though.
Well, that's cool. The granddaughter's watching. That's awesome.
All right. Again, saving those. All right. So this should be all 64 pieces. 45-degree diamonds. Oh yeah, that's a lot. Okay. Now we have all the C cut. So we're going to check off the C. So I know that I cut all the C's. The only color left is D. So D is my blue sky. And I know it's already in here, but it's accented twice. And you'll see why when the quilt is put together. So D, I need 40 pieces. So I only need 4 strips, right? For 40 pieces. I get 4 per. I get 8 per 4 strips.
8 times 4.
I don't know the number.
It's 32. If
Oh,
you need
so I need
40,
5 strips.
8 times 5 is 40, yes. If that's what you're asking me.
Yes. 5, 3, and strips from this.
Diane says, I'm a purple girl.
Notice I'm switching from ruler to ruler.
Yep.
Because the Quilter Select ruler,
Joe is here, and she says she loves the colors, and it's so exciting to watch.
what was I gonna say? I use the Quilter Select ruler for usage. All right, here we go. We're gonna this edge should be straight from my last cut, so we just need to start with 3-inch cuts. So we need to make 5 of them from color D. You finished pressing already?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you want to see my mess?
2. Are there 40 at least that are good?
Good pile. Not sure how picky you are pile. And definite bad pile.
Okay.
And I did not count them. What?
Nothing.
I can quick count them.
No, it's fine. And piece 4. No, 5. Did I say 5? I said 5, didn't I? 5 strips.
Yes, 5.
Once you guys tell me once that I mess up, I am getting them all correct now. Okay, so 5 strips for color D. And don't worry, I'll change all the numbers when I redraw out the thing. Actually, it's already being changed now on my little scribble, but again, we're going to be lining them up on the 45 and subcutting. One stack will have 3 and one stack will have 2.
No, there's 24 here.
24 good ones.
Yeah, was there
Give me
only,
the picky ones. Let me see.
is there only, what, 40 total?
I need.
Yeah, but how many total
Looks
are there? Because
good.
there's not that many in the other
Looks
2
good.
piles.
Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. How
Okay.
many does that make?
That's not gonna make it. There's only what, 5 more here?
All right, crossing over on a number. I'm using the 5. Put it on the 45-degree line. Cross this over down here on the 5. The selvage is the only thing that needs to cross over since I'm doing them folded in half. Grab out the other
34.
ruler.
You need 6 more out of this pile.
Okay, well, you're going to have to give me a second because I'm cutting.
Okay, well, this pile's nice. Okay, Mary said 8 times 4 is 32. Nancy says about 22 years ago she bought a Lonestar Quilt kit in blues. All pieces are already cut. I had almost finished piecing the top. I boxed everything up to move back to Illinois and lost it in the move.
Oh,
that
man.
sucks.
And one more
Hi,
cut.
Melissa. Melissa says hi.
Hello. One more 3-inch cut. Okay. Now, all the D. All right, give me those pieces so I can lay a block out. We're going to see what is good and what is not. Not passable. That's passable. That's passable. Definitely not. Questionable. How many did you say I needed? 6?
Yeah, you need 4 more.
Not passable. Not passable. Okay, give me, fold all these back in half and press them so that I can resew them.
So these 2 we're
Yeah.
keeping?
Yeah.
You
You
only need
just said 4.
Yeah, you only
1,
need
2,
4 to resew.
3,
There's
4.
2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay. And the rest will just put away for later. So I have to resew some stuff real quick.
That's okay, they're learning.
Until then, we could start laying a 6x6 out. These are the good ones?
Yeah.
And all these?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
before
they
I
run
do
6
that,
or 10.
we're going to lay out just one block. So here's all my pieces. Don't forget what colors you have here. So this is my E. This is my A. This is my B. This is my C. This is my D. This is my D and W. Okay. So we're going to lay one block out. Hopefully they all fit up here too. We're going to have
Where do you want these?
right here. I got to pick these apart, by the way, guys. Unless Scott wants to rip them out real quick. All right. E goes at the top. Then we have
Diane says it would take me a couple days to cut all that.
A, 2A. Leaves, turquoise leaves.
Nancy said,
The
I guess the
2A.
family I was living with needed it more, but they denied it.
Now we need 3B.
That's
And
sad.
B is blue dots.
Hi, Brenda. Brenda says
1,
hi.
2,
Hey, what do you want me to pick apart?
3.
Give me your pickers. I'm not near as quick as you, but I'll pick.
Just
I know
one
how.
stitch at a time. I've showed
You've
you how to
taught
do
me. I know. You've
Alright.
taught me. I'm going to read
it.
comments and pick.
Okay, E, A, B. I need C, which is the paisley flower. So we need C. Can you see this whole area that I'm working with right now?
What's going on?
The
The
whole
thingy?
entire mat.
You hit something.
C.
Yes, I can do your whole mat.
And then we need D, which is blue sky.
I pick out every single stitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we need to scoot these over a little. We're going to go with
Elena
the
says,
D.
so does Scott
and then-
not only act as Iron Man, but Jack the Ripper too?
Blue scratch is E again. So E is going to come back right here.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
That was funny, wasn't it?
Yes.
I thought it was funny. Elena.
Yes.
Nancy says, I'm still tickled, LOL. That was a lot of work.
All right.
Oh,
so-
ticked, not tickled. Sorry.
And now one more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So now we're going to be closing it back up. Now the hard part is because of the limited space here because they're such big blocks. But remember, I'm making a full-size quilt, so we need the bigger blocks to create a full-size quilt. The smaller the blocks, the smaller the quilt you'll have. And remember, Lonestars are always square quilts. This we're going to rectangle out. All right, now we're doing our DW. So this is my D, this is my W. So these go right here, like this. And I'm also going to be trimming all these away later, all these little dog ears. We'll get rid of those later, though. I'm not worried about it right now.
And it says, wow, starting to look brilliant.
5. Okay. Remember, those are 3 inches. They should finish at 3 inches. Make sure you check that. Now we're going to go back to C again, which is paisley flower.
I don't know how to pick a stitch on a stitch.
I have
know
no
how I'm
idea what
supposed
you
to do
mean
that.
by stitch on a stitch.
You have it stitched diagonal and down. To hit.
Oh,
that.
you don't need the down. Just straight across that seam that you had pressed back.
Yeah, but they go over each
So
other. I don't know what
C-
I'm supposed to do right there, so I'm going to leave that on.
Now D, let's see, C is done. That was the paisley
did you hear me,
flower.
honey?
Now we're going back to B, which is blue dots. Yes, I hear you. So blue dots go here
Melissa says it's looking amazing. I love
Here.
the blues.
and here. And then
Brenda
B.
says, hi everyone. Dang, I missed the cutting of the pattern.
See, B is blue dots. I just did blue dots, 3 B's. Now we need 2 A's, which are the turquoise leaves. So 2 A's right here. And then that last and final one is an E.
Nancy
Bam.
says looks great.
So obviously you can't see the whole entire whatever, but this is how big one unit is going to be. And we need to make 8 of these to make a full-size quilt. So hopefully you guys can see all that. Nicely see it, I should say. Okay, there's the whole thing. So that is what I'm making, 8 of those. And what's going to happen is when all 8 pieces come together, you guys have seen Lone Stars, this piece here where the whites are on the outside will not be touching any white. So the white will be on this section out here and that section out there. And then all 8 of these will come into a circle. And then this whole little thing right here will circle around in the center of the whole entire quilt.
Joe says, oh my gorgeous. Kim says that is gorgeous. Here, can you come here for 2 seconds? This stitch right here goes over and over it. So I don't know what that. You just pull it apart on your own?
Yeah, it'll come right out.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
All right, so let's go back to the sewing machine so I can fix the last 4 blocks.
I only picked one apart. I'm not as quick as you.
You can just bring them here. I'll rip them.
You want me to keep going?
I'm just gonna sew these together real quick and then we can start on the whole entire thing. And actually, how long have I been on? Because I need to take a potty and stuff break.
I think
An
almost
eat
2
break.
hours.
Potty and an eat break. And then
Yeah, 2 hours.
Okay.
An hour and 54.
Then I can come back later with a part 2.
Yeah. Well, I have to go then
Yeah,
Two.
Scotty
Okay.
has to leave for a little while, but
to finish working. I was helping a friend out doing some mechanic work yesterday, and the place we took some of the stuff that was supposed to be done yesterday wasn't done, so I have to go back and finish today.
all right.
It's just putting a tire on it. Took his one tire off,
Alright,
took it to the
press
shop,
that.
and they have to put it on. And
All right, so I'm going to pick these and then we're going to take a break now that you guys know the layout. And then I can, before I come back on, I can draw it up on a different piece of paper with a Sharpie and then write down all everything and how many cuts and size and blah, blah, blah. This is to make a full size. I'm not going to change all the math. If you want to change
This
all
looks
the
a lot
math
better.
yourself, you can.
it's a lot
Yeah.
better.
All right, so I'm just doing one at a time. Make it easy on myself.
Well, Melissa says, can't wait to see the whole quilt. Mary's gorgeous. Heather says, oh, it's pretty. I wish I heard the explanation, but I will catch the replay. I'll be distracted in paperwork. Teresa
Like I
says, that
said,
will be
it's going to
beautiful.
be quite a few videos. Okay, that one's good now. Be quite a few videos in
Oh.
total. till it's done, because again, I'm building onto the outside. I'm not just doing the single Lone Star. The center will be the Lone Star, but I have designed in my brain. It's not on paper. The rest of it is just going to be make it up as I go, because I know what I want to do, but I don't know the math to it. So it's all going to be make up as I go.
Elena says, "Okay, we'll look forward to the following lives."
No. I'm going to come
Elena
on
K
again.
says, "We'll look forward to it."
I will be on again today though, because I really do need to start getting all this done today. But so far the layout's ready, so all I need to do is start sewing the diamonds together in the next video.
Melissa asks, "Are you going to sell your pattern?"
No, I don't. I give everything away for free. I don't sell this.
We have
That
quotes
is
for
why
sale, but not patterns we give away.
No, it's not. It's not why I do this. I do this because I want to. Oh my goodness, come on. Stay right there. Right there. Fold back. And that's where I want it to land. Right up a little bit higher. And that's land right there. I'm fixing these all real quick. Well, just the 4.
Jim says, "I like warm fall colors."
All right, here's another one. Perfect. That's what I get for chain piecing them all. But if you pin all yours or sew them slow, unlike me who wants to speed through everything, be my guest and do it your way, because I'm just walking you through it.
Melissa says, "Yay, can't wait to see. Can't wait to make this with you."
And again, like I said, I started
Diana's
with
lost.
more fabric than I needed. So it's 6 colors, but I bought more than I needed. I bought 2.5 yards of 3 of the colors, 4 yards of 2 of the colors, and 7 yards of my white, just so that I would have enough to make whatever, and all the leftovers get made into something. So
They don't go to waste.
none of it goes to waste. Oh, it's off, but I'm just gonna leave it. It's not a big deal. All right, so I'm gonna take a break and eat myself some lunch and go potty and do my smoke thing that I do, because I'm a smoker. Everybody knows that. And then Scotty's gonna leave for a while, and when I come back, it'll probably just be me reading the comments. So if I don't keep up, obviously you guys know why. This layout is gonna be what we're gonna sew together in part 2, which will be just a little bit from now today. Okay,
Compared
so
to
just
these, is that any worse or any better than any of those?
no, it's fine. It'll be fine. It's fine.
Those are the bad ones. You just
Oh.
took the whole stack.
What am I comparing? That's horrible. That's even horribler. That's horrible.
The one
That's
on the
good
very
enough.
top is the one you just did.
And this one I just did?
No, the one on the very top.
Yeah, that was warm.
No, that was in your horrible stack.
That's there's a fix then. So there's 4 to fix later.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said, if you're following along and you're doing it, maybe you have time to get all your pieces cut. Remember to create these 4 patches. It's 1 3/4 inch of this 6 strips, 1 3/4 inch of the white, 6 strips. Means you're going to be making, there'll be 80 altogether of the 2 patches that you'll be sewing together, and then when you combine, then it'll be 40 of the 4 patches. And the 4 patch needs to come out. We're not counting from here to here on the whole entire diamond. Your size for your 3 inches is from this, from here, this flat part, to this bottom flat part right here. That should equal 3 inches on every single one. If not, all of your 3-inch diamonds will not work with this, because we are going to have the 1/4 inch. We're not bunting all of these ends off. They're not going to be gone like if you were to have used a template where it chops all those off. We're doing this manually by lining up a 1/4 inch beyond with everything. So need 44 patches. I already showed you in the beginning how to create those. Those the only part that's string pieced together. Everything else is single cut. And I'll go over the directions in the next video for those that catch only one video or 2. I don't know, some people do that. I've noticed that.
Hi, Lisa.
And then yeah, I will go through all that, and I'm going to rewrite all this down on another piece of paper with Sharpie, take a picture, and I'll post it in the Facebook group. So don't forget, if you want to make something like this and you're subscribed to my channel, join the Facebook group, which is in the description below every single one of my videos. Okay. And yeah, that's that. So we'll get to this building this when I come back. Okay. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back in who knows how long. I'll give you a half an hour advance notice. If you have the bell rung, you'll see it pop up. So Scotty, can you end that, please?
Yep. Bye,
Thanks, guys, and
everyone.
I'll see you in just a little while. Okay.
Bye-bye.